You think your decisions are your own. What to buy, who to trust, what to believe. It feels personal. But here's what you don't see. Most choices are not fully yours. No one forces you. No one shouts. Instead, something quiet begins to guide you. You scroll, you click, you choose, and it feels natural. But later, you pause and wonder, why did I do that? That moment is not random. It is designed. And this is where it changes. The people shaping your choices never ask permission. They don't argue with you. They gently steer you. You think you are in control, but you are being directed. And once you notice it, everything feels different. Because real control is not loud. It is invisible. Every day, you face hundreds of small choices. What video to watch, what opinion to accept, what path to take. It feels like freedom, like full control over your life. But your brain cannot study everything deeply. So it takes shortcuts to save time and energy. It looks for what feels easy, familiar, and safe. And this is where it changes. Influence enters quietly, not through pressure, but through repetition. Not through orders, but through soft suggestion. You don't notice it because it feels normal, like the idea came from you. But here's the truth. Many choices are guided. There is a hidden push working in the background. And once it blends in, you stop questioning it. Because what feels familiar starts feeling like truth. Most people believe control is easy to spot. They think manipulation looks like pressure, arguments, or clear persuasion. Something loud. Something you can quickly notice. So they stay alert for obvious signs. They watch for force, for conflict, for someone pushing hard. But here's what you don't see. That is the trap. Real influence stays quiet. It does not fight your choices. It shapes them early. Before you even decide, the path feels natural. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels wrong. It feels like preference, like your own instinct. And this is why it works so well. You trust your thinking, even when it was adjusted. You defend decisions that were never fully yours. And the more confident you feel, the less you question anything. Because the illusion of control is the control. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain is predictable, not weak, just built to save effort and move fast. It follows patterns, habits, and emotional triggers every day. It repeats what feels safe, easy, and familiar. But here's what you don't see. Once someone learns these patterns, they don't need to control you directly anymore. They only adjust what's around you. They change the timing of what you see. They change the framing of the message. They show you one option before the others. And this is where it changes. Your decision shifts. Not because you were forced, but because your brain followed its path. You think you chose freely, but it was guided. Because the strongest influence feels like your own idea. It starts with very small things you barely notice. The order in which options appear in front of you. The tone someone uses while speaking to you. Even the way a simple question is asked. Your brain reacts before you start thinking deeply. If something feels familiar, you trust it faster. If something feels urgent, you act without delay. If something feels popular, you follow the crowd. But here's what you don't see. These are shortcuts. Mental rules your brain uses every single day. And this is where it changes. They can be used. Repeat an idea enough times. It feels true. Limit your options and you still choose inside it. You think you are deciding, but you are being guided. When emotions rise, logic quietly steps back. Step by step, your path becomes smaller until your final choice feels natural, even inevitable. Now think about your last few decisions. Why did you really choose that option? Was it your true preference or just what felt easy? What felt familiar? What felt right in that moment? But here's what you don't see. That feeling has a pattern. This is a shift. You begin to notice things you ignored before. Moments where your thinking was gently guided, not fully controlled, just slightly pushed. And once you see one example, more appear. You notice the wording, the timing, the setup. You see how choices are being framed. You think you decide freely, but you are being shaped. And suddenly, you are not just choosing anymore. You are watching the process behind your choices. Because awareness does not stop influence. It reveals it. If you ignore this, nothing really changes. You keep making choices that feel right, but are guided. You follow paths that seem natural, but were prepared. And this is where it becomes serious. Over time, these small choices start to build. Your habits, your beliefs, even your goals shift. All shaped by influences you never questioned. That is how control works over time. Not in one big moment, but in quiet repetition. You think you are free, but you are being directed. And the real danger is not influence itself. It is believing you were never influenced at all. Because once you believe that, you stop questioning. You stop looking deeper into your own decisions. And that is when influence becomes permanent. The less you question, the easier you are to guide. So how do you protect yourself from this? You don't fight every influence. That is impossible. Instead, you slow down your decisions. When something feels obvious, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, why does this feel right? Not what you think, but why you think it. Look closely at how choices are presented. What is missing? What is being highlighted? If options feel limited, step back and expand them. If something feels urgent, delay your response. But here's what you don't see. Urgency is often a tool. Just because something repeats does not make it true. And this is where it matters most. Separate emotion. Feel first, but decide later with a clear mind. Because emotional choices are easy to guide. You think you must react fast, but slow thinking protects you. You don't need fear, just awareness. Just intention in every step. Because control fades the moment you question it. You're not as independent as you think, but you're not powerless either. The difference is awareness. Most people move through life on autopilot. They react, choose, believe, without asking why. But here's what you don't see, now you do. You've seen the subtle pushes behind your decisions. The hidden patterns shaping what feels natural. And this is where it changes. You have a choice. Keep moving blindly or start noticing everything. Because the goal is not to escape influence. That will never fully happen. The goal is to see it before it shapes you. You think control is outside, but it starts inside. The moment you question your own decisions, you begin to take control back. And that is where real freedom finally begins.